So, official start. Hi everyone, my name is Sasha, and I will give a talk today. Why do we need performance if you have iPhones? So, yes, it's already a success. And now please raise your hand if you see or saw a performance last month. Like not this workshop. Okay. And now raise your hand if you participated in a workshop last month. Okay. And now raise your hand to who makes stories in your phones, in your smartphones. And who didn't raise? You are not participating or you're really not making stories in your phones? Anyway, we will see. There's also a topic in our conversation about being an author or being an observer or being just an audience, like making and participating or just witnessing. So why do we need performance if you have iPhones? I will talk a little about myself and then we go to the topic. So my name is Sasha Andriyashkin. I'm an art practitioner, theater maker, choreographer, ex-dancer, performer, teacher with 25 years of experience. I used to work in Russia a lot before 2022, and I work now in European Union, in USA, BID, in Central Asia, and first time in Bali. So it's the first time in Bali. I came here. Okay, another applause. I came here to lead a workshop next week called Body is the Message. So this is why I'm here. And I'm teaching for 20 years, and worked with both big organizations and big institutions, but also horizontal initiatives and independent projects. So this is my experience. So we have a common space now. We have our bodies are here, and we have a common time. So this is very important for performance space. Bodies with strange sounds and time. We will also do some practical tests sometimes during this lecture. And it's very key word for performance, practice-based knowledge. It's important to say also, I'm not a lecturer, I'm an art practitioner. So everything I will talk now will be from my experience. So it's not university knowledge, it's just my, again, practice-based knowledge. So I will talk a bit and we will try things. So it will be practice-based knowledge and theory-based knowledge. So let's start. Why do we need performance if you have iPhones? Let's talk about the word performance. It's just a word, but it's also a concept. And some people do believe that if they just do something, they can call it performance. So what about you? Do you share this idea or this concept that performance can be anything? Or it should be something there? Something. Something is what? Like what? The idea, the message, what else? Shape, okay. Intention, action, audience. This is a good question about audience. Impact, what else? Presence, whatever it means. We will talk about it later, I hope. What else? Healing. Okay, I prepared 5 definitions. Actually, I did the research. So there are few definitions. General performance is when we do something with our body in real time with attention and meaning, and we invite others to witness it. So more artistic definition. Performance is an art form where the main material is the living body and its actions in real time. It exists in the course of field of theater, dance, visual art, and philosophy, and often goes beyond genres and institutions. So more research definition. Performance is the practice of presence. You listen to your body and actions, not from instructions, but from the question that is urgent right now. So more business approach. Performance is the management of time and space through actions. More common. Performance is when someone does something weird in front of the others and somehow it becomes important. So it's important once, just to make something weird is not enough. Somehow it should be important for you. There's also an extra one, which I really like, or maybe I like the most, or use the most. You can say, this is a performance because I said so. So you do something and say, this is a performance because I said so. And I propose to try it. Let's just try it on the count 3. 1, 2, 3. This phrase. This is a performance because I said so. Okay, let's do it again. 1, 2, 3. This is a performance because I said so. And let's just do something, and when we do something, any action, we just say, this is a performance because I said so. So practice-based knowledge. Let's just try it right now. So you do something and you say, this is a performance because I said so. On your seat. Let's make a try. I don't know, raise your hand, twist your head. Then make a bow, show your tongue and say, this is a performance because I said so. Yeah, drop a pillow. So, this is a performance because I said so. And keep on trying, so practice-based knowledge again. A few more. This is a performance because I said so. So it's a big question what you do when you finish with your ideas. Just do something and say, this is a performance because I said so. And a couple of more. This is a performance because I said so. Okay. So actually this is it. The main idea of this lecture, but we will continue. Let's talk also, let's take this word iPhone or smartphone. Do you have any ideas what the smartphone is? The definition of that? Oh, okay, smart. What else? Computer that makes a call. Makes a call. What else? Devil. A good one. Okay, I did a bit of research about that as well. I found a definition that I think really fits to our conversation. A smartphone is a device that combines communication and information processes function. It provides voice communication, access to the outside world, installation and use of applications, multimedia processing, navigation, and other digital functions. So that's the definition. But what I think is more interesting that for some people, a smartphone is just magic. So nobody knows how it works. You just press something, you get something, you connect with someone, it's a pure magic. And for some people, it's a technology. So I suggest to make a parallel between this device and the body, which is necessary component of performing art. We can see also the body as a magic one or as a technology. And performance is an app, an application. So what we can say about it, about the difference between body and the smartphone? Again, any ideas? And smartphone, yes. Yes, what else? Yes, what else? Mechanic versus organic. What else? Yes. Yeah, and phone. We can say that body feels or experience and phone gets metrics. Yeah. Get notifications, metrics, and all the data. That's the difference. What else? What other ideas?
But it has more complex shape.
Okay. Are you sure?
No? Yes.
Let's look inside the iPhone. What else? Yes. And phone you need to move. Or we can say like, yeah. Or phone always knows where you are, and body is where you are, yeah? Or you are. There's also interesting thing like phone doesn't age, but becomes outdated fast. Phone doesn't die, it just becomes not supported anymore compared to the body. The iPhone is perfectly processing information, but doesn't turn it into experience. The human body, on the other hand, processes everything imperfectly with mistakes, but is capable of transforming all this into unique personal experience. This brings us to another important word, mistake. In technology, we try to avoid mistakes. In human life, mistakes are important. In contemporary art and performance, working with mistakes is a key method. We want our phones to function without errors and mistakes. But when it comes to humans, we actually want people to be with mistakes, because this is how a person appears. So mistake and the person. Yes. And then it's a question, do we try to avoid mistakes or we trying to accept mistakes? That's the, yeah. What else? Or we can say that the person has mistakes, or we can say that the person has a character. It's also about what we do when we practice. Achieving the perfect result, as you said, or accumulation with the effect of losing it. Or practicing a try. We don't practice the result, we practice to try to reach it. And in this case, we accumulate the experience and skill to make tryouts. So the idea of a try. Is that clear? So we don't reach the result, but we practice a try for reaching it. Okay, let's try it right now. Very easy, simple task. Just stay where you are. It's easy, or not. And just think where your attention is right now, right in this moment. Very basic idea.
Inside, outside.
It's already a question. So think about your attention inside, in your body, and think about your attention outside. So where is your attention right now?
Projecting outside.
Mm-hmm. And when we think about outside, can we think about being outside in a space or in an object or in another human, in another person? How can I divide my attention between that? Between being inside and being outside? Being in the space with my attention, being in the others with my attention, and being in yourself with my attention. And let's just observe it. And there is such a concept. The way a person stands or places himself in space already contains a lot of information about how a person relates to the world, to himself or herself, and to the place around him. In the way a person makes steps, there is already a lot of information about how a person relates to actions and deeds. Ask a person to stand and walk, and this already triggers a whole field of interpretations. And when I say 3, we will try to stand up. And when we try to stand up, it's an easy action, but try to observe, are you standing up with the idea of overcoming something, or with the idea of releasing something, or with the idea of execution someone's ask. So you overcome when you stand, you release something, or you just stand because someone asked you to stand, or you just ignore it. On the count 3. 1, 2, 3. And there is also a choice, am I doing something or am I just observing some others' actions? So here, when we stand, what about our attention? Where it is? In the space, inside, in the other people, or in me, because I'm with a microphone. And let's just observe the room and observe the others, and how we can connect to this concept that the way a person stands, it already contains a lot of information about how he relates to the space, to the people, to him or to herself, how we perceive this information. And also in the way we stand, how we share this information about how we relate to the space, to other people. And now on the count 3, we'll start to walk, but let's walk on one spot, on one place, but on the count 3. And again, this is very simple action. When you walk, just try to think that the way we walk, the way we live, in a way. About this idea. 1, 2, 3. Let's walk on the spot. And how we can connect to this idea, to this concept, that the way we walk, the way we relate to deeds, to what we do, or to how we live in general. And what information can we take from the way we walk about the way we live? And let's also observe others, the others, how they walk, and how we can relate to this concept about others. What if how they walk means or shows how they live? And we just practice it, right? Then just now let's try to change something very simple in the way we walk or something in the space. Do a very simple change. And again, let's observe how do we relate to changes, to making changes. Are we the one who makes changes? Or are we the one who observes others making changes? Or are we the ones who ignores changes? And let's do it like that to finish this simple task. Like we need to change our seat. And if I consider myself more as an author, as a person who makes changes, I do change my seat. And if I consider myself more as an observer or a witnesser, I stay where you are. So 1, 2, 3. Are you considering yourself more as an author, a change maker, or more as an observer? Just make a choice. Kinds of categories the performance practices often work with. When people come to a class, for example, and start exploring the basic patterns of interaction with the world through the body. But let's talk a little about the history of performing art. And what actually is the difference between performance as an art form and performative practices? Art 1. The beginning of culture. Actually, we can say that performance is one of the oldest things humans have ever done. Before there were theaters, before museums, before books, there were rituals, dances, public gestures, and ceremonies. We can say performance was born with the body and was always here, as a ritual, as a healing, as a collective experience. They were mostly for connection to the earth, to the spirits, to the community, and to the body. A group of people gathered in space, doing something with presence and meaning in the beginning of human culture. There were no separation between performance and audiences. Everybody was taking part in it. That was long before anyone called it performance, before hashtags, galleries, or even the word art. Part 2. The emergence of art. So a few thousand years later, people started to have theater, Greek drama, Roman shows. We can speak about actors, scripts, costumes, and audiences. This is a performance too, and more with the word art in the front. Now it's organized, institutionalized, structured, and rehearsed. There is a stage, there is a separation, performers are here, audience are there. It's beautiful but also controlled. Performance is now entertainment. And slowly some people start asking, what if you want to break this frame? And this is how we go to the stage 3, modernity. In the beginning of last century, artists started to break the rules. Painters didn't want just to paint. Dancers didn't want to just dance. They wanted to use their bodies to manifest questions. Like in painting, Malevich made his black square. So everybody was trying, or practicing to try, to create their own black squares in the fields. Some of the first performance artists were from Dada and Futurism movements. They did strange things in galleries, bars, and streets, mixing poetry, sound, gestures, movement with provocation and protest. The main idea was the art can be an act now, not an object. So the art can be enacted. And this is how we go to the part 4. Reframe or redefine. So later, in the last century, in the 60s and 70s, performance exploded. Performing art becomes its own thing. Not just a provocation of more traditional forms. The whole world was in a period of reframing that time. Next generation after the Second World War came, so it was a lot of reframing about civil rights, feminism, anti-war, liberation. Artists stopped asking, how can I make something beautiful? Instead they asked, what does my body say? What happens if I just stay here for 8 hours doing nothing? Artists like Marina Abramović, Joseph Beuys, Yoko Ono, Steve Paxton used their bodies to speak about pain, time, politics, love, searching for new social communication patterns, questioning gender roles, and so on and so on. They didn't create objects anymore. They created experiences. Not theatrical plays or plots, just presence, time, idea, and the body. So stage 5, now. What is performance in the age of iPhones? So nowadays performance can be many things. It can be in theater or in the forest. It can be one person alone or a crowd. It can last 5 minutes or 24 hours. It can involve silence, screaming, stillness, movement. And now, in the time of phones, screens, and endless content, performance becomes something different again. because it cannot be paused, it cannot be swiped, demands your body and your time. Sometimes it still shocks, sometimes it heals, sometimes it's just someone walking in slow motion for 3 hours. Some performance artists came from dance and theater, like me, some from visual art, some from activism, some from nothing at all, just from curiosity, some from trauma, and some from burnout maybe, and wish to reconnect to yourself. So it's important to mention 3 different ways connected to that. More like performing art, experience of watching. The one that came from dancers and actors. And we can say that the focus is on tools there. Virtuosity, physical and mental capacity, and the deep study of the body. So body is important. The second, it came from visual art. So the focus is on ideas. Physical skill is less important. What matters is the concept and the visual form. So concept. And the third one is the performative practices. This is about taking tools, skills and experience from performing arts, not for the sake of art itself, but in order to apply them in life, in your profession, everyday communication and the personal development. It's like a toolbox for everyone, and it returns us to the idea of removing the separation between performers and audience. We are all practitioners. So, why do people still practice performance in the era of smartphones? Because performance reminds us, we are here, we are real, we are not just profiles and data, we have bodies, or actually we are bodies, and we can listen, move, express and connect without a filter. So that's the idea of history.
I'm curious your thoughts and anyone's on the idea that based on where we are with iPhones and the familiarity that they're kind of always around, and there's basically the expectation that a camera is always available, that actually we're never not performing now because we're so used to the possibility that someone could capture us at any moment. So I'm curious the thought that actually there's kind of always this aspect of someone watching us and we're always in performance. And so where's the authenticity?
It's a question of witnesser, yes, also. And we will talk later a bit, I hope, about mirror neurons, how it influences on us when someone is witnessing us. But there's also, we have phones and people like make stories all the time. So we are under observation and when we can appear in someone's stories. And for instance, this is why some people create safe spaces where you're not allowed to use phones. So you're kind of guaranteed that you will be not witnessed or like recorded. But anyway, I think it depends on country to country, but we have this, how you call it, this candid cameras or this safety cameras, which is always observe you. And then it's a question, it just camera observes you or artificial intelligence observes you or the person sits behind the computer and watches you. And I think it all creates different tones of our body, tones of our muscle structures and so on. And for instance, but we did an experience with kids actually, like for instance, they behave not a very good way in the class. And you say, okay, I don't know, this is John. He will be witnessing you since now. And then we just really making observations. Does the behavior changes because of that? And actually it is. So as soon as you define an object as a witnesser, everything changes. So if you say like, I don't know, again, you know also these tricks when you put safety camera, but it doesn't work, but it influences on on people's behavior. So these kind of things. But I hope we will practice with making records today as well. So anything more about the previous ideas or messages, so we can just continue? Okay, let's just not talk about these ideas, but let's just try to place ourselves in relation to them. I propose like that. We have 5 phases in history, and we have around 5 rows here with our seats. So depending on to which period of history you relate more, just choose one of these 5 rows. And also, let's say we have 3 sectors. This sector more connected to the dancers approach, which is more connected to the body. This sector is more connected to the visual approach, to the idea of concept. And this one is more connected to the performative practices, to this idea of toolbox. So when I count to 3, you will change the row depending on the history period, and you will change and you will choose the sector depending on dancers, visual art, and idea of a toolbox. Just an idea. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And again, you can be in a position of an observer, or can be more as an author, the person who makes changes. So history and 3 approaches. Okay, and find your place, or be in between. Just 20 seconds to go. 5 rows, 3 sectors. I propose we talk about next important tag, time. We will not discuss the definition of time today, otherwise it will take forever. At least right now, instead of that, I propose to talk about screen time and body time. So screen time means the amount of time a person spends looking at a device, smartphone, computer, tablet, laptop, and so on. Body time, I haven't seen this term before, but I suggest we create it. So body time is the time spent in contact with yourself through movement, breath, the surrounding environment, and other bodies. It's a time where the person's attention is directed to bodily sensations, to a physical presence in space and in the moment. So screen time, body time. In the context of time, we can say that screen time lives in external time, and body time lives in internal. Screen time is synchronized with calendars, reminders, and objective commonly accepted time, like the time we check in our phones. Body time is non-linear. It can freeze in a moment or expand over years. A traumatic event from 10 years ago can still be stored in our muscles and the entire structure of the body. So screen time doesn't need the body. Attention kind of leaves the body when we are dealing with screen time. Body time cannot exist without the body. The screen can keep working on its own. The video keeps playing without us. Zoom goes on without the body. Body time only exists when we are here, when we are alive. Screen shows you, body is you. The screen gives you a reflection, a filter, an image, a visibility. The body gives experience, presence, process, and so on. Screen is an external interface, body is internal. It's commonly said that performance is art of body time. The performance and performative practices are working on this side, on the side of body time. Performance gives the body the right to be understood and not explained at the same time. In this aspect, it's interesting to look at procrastination. There is an interpretation that procrastination is a bodily right against screen time. So we are not just lazy, we are exhausted from the screen, and the body resists. Maybe, of course, it's only just our convenient explanation, but we can say now that it's not just our laziness, it's a protest against overconsumption. So we can also point out several fundamental differences between smartphone and the body. Smartphone always know where you are. As we said before, body is always where you are. Smartphone tracks steps, calories, likes, body lives through tiredness, pleasure, awkwardness, and etc. Smartphone filters reality, body engages with reality. Smartphone offers safety and control, body offers bravery and presence. Smartphone needs charging, body needs attention. And now let's take a little mini practice, micro practice. Take your phones. And everybody, please search for your timer. Input your timer for 30 seconds. But don't press it yet. And please switch your sound on, so we will hear it. So 30 seconds on your timer. When I count to 3, yes, we will press it, but not now. Timer, 30 seconds. And before they do that, please stand up again. I ask you to stand up. Sound on, yes. Please stand up. And let's do it like that. We take a pose which express our state right now, whatever. It can be something simple or something really deep. but this pose should express our state. And when I count till 3, we will press timer, and when we hear our own sounds, we will slowly melt into our seats. Kind of micro collective performance. So 1, 2, 3. I hope you pressed the timers. And wait for the timer, and then slowly melt into your seat. Let's use this screen time. How we fulfill our pose. Slowly melt into your seat. Yes, thank you. Now switch off your timers and we'll do another experiment. Now it's about body time. On the count 3, I will ask you to close your eyes and feel when the 30 seconds will pass. And when you feel that the 30 seconds is over, you will open your eyes and stand up. But please do not count. So on the count 3, you will close your eyes and you just feel 30 seconds. And when you feel then it's over. No. That's the idea. You don't watch your phones. It's body time now. So how you feel? You don't count like 1, 2, 3, 4. You just feel. And when you feel that the 30 seconds is over, you open your eyes and you get up. So we'll see what happens. 1, 2, 3. Close your eyes. Body time. Time for body time. Try not to cheat, do not count. When you feel that 30 seconds is over, you open your eyes and you stand up. You can watch the others, how they deal with their body times. Okay, let's continue. Let's do another one. Let's take your phones again and check notifications that your phone sends to you. Messages or whatever. And you can read them out loud. The one you can share, of course. That's the idea. What notification phone sends to you?
No notifications.
Read it out loud.
Selamat.
Okay, a bit more, few more notifications from our phones. Okay, let's stop. Let's stop. What if the body also sends push notifications to us? What does the body warn us about? What does the body remind us of? What does the body invite us to do? Let's just listen to it. And when you get any body notification, you also say it out loud. For instance, I want to drink now. How we can get body notifications? What notifications do we get from our bodies? And now let's just try to follow these notifications. When we get any notification from our body, and if it's asking for something, we just do it. We just let it happen. How we can scan our body notification and how we can follow it. Just 2 or 3 notifications. To get a notification, to say it, and to follow. Okay, last one. Okay, let's do one more mini practice about the body and the phone. Let's take your phone back again into your hands. And please open your Instagram or TikTok or whatever. Finally, yes, it's allowed. It's not a school anymore. And on my signal, again, on the count 3, you start to record a story. Let's say about 45 seconds. But this is not it. The story is about, we start to make stories, to record the stories on your Instagram. Yes, yes. Or no, you can choose live or just make a video for stories on the count 3. But the story should be about interaction and communication. How you understand it. Whatever it means for you. But through your Instagram. On the count 3, 1, ready, 2, and 3. Go. We are making the Instagram stories about interaction and communication. Why do we need performance if we have iPhones? So we are making micro practice. Yes. Interaction and communication. Okay, you can post it now if you want, or you can just delete it. Let's just stop, or hashtags or whatever. And now let's take away your phones again. We are finishing. Let's take away your phones. And when I say 3, we start to do a bodily interaction and communication the way we understand it. So not phones anymore, like offline story about interaction and communication. However we understand it, we are just practicing a try. 1, 2, 3. Body interaction, what it means for us, for 45 seconds. "20 seconds left. "10 seconds left. 5, 3, 1, and stop. Okay, let's go back to our seats. We can also say screen sets what feels like objective time, and body offers another subjective, processual time and rhythm. That's the idea. And if we talk about rhythm, it's interesting to explore it in the body in action and interaction. So it's another tag, rhythm. For example, we can think like 1, 2. Let's just try all together with, let's say, right hand, and we just do this 1, 2. Like 1, 2. I'm a mirror in you. 1, 2. So again, thank you. It looks nice. And again, just really like 1, 2. 1, 2. And we can think about interpretation that 1, 2 is like start and do. Yeah, and we can say like start, do. Like start, do. Start, do. And now we can add number 3. And for instance, we can put this interpretation. Start, do, release. Let's try it. Start, do, release. Again. 1, 2, 3. Start, do, release. Yes, this idea. So we don't just start and do. We starting to make something, we do something, and then we let it go. Yeah. And then we can think about 4. Let's make this 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can think about start, do, release, integrate. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And this idea, start, do, release, integrate. Start, do, release, integrate. So we can put a lot of interpretations on that. For instance, 1, 2, 3 could be also beginning, development, and ending. Or like born, lived, and died. 1, 2 is like also started and accelerated without end, like without any final. And this is connected to the fear of death. If you understand this like this, 1, 2, 3, we only start, we development something, but we're afraid of making a final. You know, some people, they're just making startups. They don't want to be in the process for a long time. So we can think about in that way that they skip this section, for instance. So they don't do like 1, 2, 3. They just do only 1, 2. Is it clear? Or it's too... Again, so for instance, if you have this interpretation, I don't know, Braun lived, died, yes? And if you avoid number 3, that means that we avoid of death. Yes, so we are just curious only in starting something and developing something, but we don't agree to let it go. Yes? Is it more clear? Or for instance, this idea of 1. Can we do this like 1? Only this one, like 1, 1, 1. Can we try it like really with your finger, like 1, 1, 1? When we have only ones, when we don't have 2, 3, and 4, we can think about it as a desire to hit a specific moment, exactly that one, or the impossibility, the disbelief in the future. Like, you know, there is only one, like one. There is no past and no future. This is why I'm doing only this, like 1, 1, 1 in the rhythm. It's like, you know, in techno music, in the movements, like when they dance really techno, so they don't do like 1, 2, 3, 4, they don't do all this stuff, they like boom, 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 yes? And we can think that, we can put interpretation that techno is the dance of lost generation, for instance, or lost communities, or communities without future. So if you see that in some places or in some countries, techno becomes popular again, maybe it's a good question to ask, what about their vision of their future at that time? Yeah, when we can see the history of techno music. And again, let's talk about 1, 2, 3, 4. We can think also of a full circle of our action and interaction. And there's also another analog like spring, summer, fall, autumn, and winter. So spring is more about awakening of interest, a burst of energy, making plans, and these kind of things. Summer is about realization, doing this full-on action mode. Autumn or fall is about harvesting, celebrating, gathering results, these kind of things. And winter is about slowing down, listening yourself, making listen to your intuition and waiting for the next circle. And the whole circle begins again. When we do these 4 things, we can think like what kind of phases can we skip in our activity. Because, for instance, some communities or some people, they can just skip 3, as we talked about, or they can skip 4. Yeah, and that means that they only start something, then they produce something, they gather in results, but they don't have this phase when they listen to themselves and they don't know what they want, how they want to continue. Yes. Yes, I know that like you can project it in your own. I don't mean a calendar, but this is like a joke, but not really, because we can also see how in different parts of the world there are different ways of living these numbers, and in some communities or in some countries there are actually some numbers are absent. Yes. But we can also think about ourselves or about the project we make or about dance we make. Do we have all this force or we skip? Or I don't know, the day, how we spend the day today, for instance. Will we have this all 4? Or will we skip something? Is that clear, the idea? Also in the body, we have all these rhythms. Yes? Yeah, circle. Or like, again, for someone is like techno, we said 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. You know, this waltz music, for instance. We can also think about what music do we like. And maybe the way the music we like, the rhythms we usually take from it, maybe unconsciously, and actually the life we live in these rhythms. Yeah. We can also put these interpretations. At least in practice, in performance practices, we practice this one as well, and learn and study, whatever you call them. And if we talk about performance and smartphones, we can also touch the topic of memory and archive. The smartphone stores the history of clicks, actions, and all kinds of metrics. The body stores the history of pleasure, pain, contact, falls, despair, and so on. Just like we can extract data from a phone using different applications, we can also extract narratives from the body using performative practices. So performance practice is a kind of application as well, but for the body. It's interesting to ask, what does our body archive looks like? There's a concept that says our body is a container of our beliefs, habits, and everything we have experienced. We can just look at how people stand, walk, dance, and we can already make guesses about how they live and what the way they have been through. What are the values and social patterns in this place, in this city, in this country or community? Performance in this sense is not just something weird and unfamiliar. Inside performance, we can practice our habits and beliefs through our body. Even more, we can try inside performance to practice utopian models of ourselves and society. And even that utopias doesn't exist yet in everyday life, we can grow them in our bodies. And the cost of failure and mistake in this process, unlike in real life, is zero, or almost zero. Just spend time, or the price of a ticket, or again, workshop. So, utopia. Yes. Bali mode. And just like we can manage the memory of our phone, we can consciously work with the memory of our body, even change it if we need. Inside performance, we create an embodied experience. That experience is more likely will stay with us, and later will influence how we act and how we perceive the world. So embodied experience. So we already tried to make steps on the spots before. Let's just try to do it again. This is our micro practice on the spots, but with all we've talked about. So yes, stand up and start to walk. On the spot. Kira, yes. Just walk and just observe how you walk. And now let's ask this question again. Where is our attention? Is it more inside or outside? And let's just check where is our attention is missing now. And let's just add it there. So to the space, to the others, to yourself, to objects, to lecture. Now let's walk as if we have attention everywhere. In the space, in our body, in others. Yes, walk on the spot. And now let's feel what is disturbing us in this walk. Do we have anything, I don't know, pain, tension, or I don't know, some thought which is disturbing? And while walking, let's just try to fix it, whatever it means, through our walk. And if you cannot fix it, let's just let it go, let's just drop this and continue walk. And now let's walk the way we would like to live this life. A poetic moment. What if our body and our walk is our life? Now make a walk in the way you want to live your life. And place it into your body. With all your attention. To the space, to yourself, to others, to the action. And keep on your perfect walk. And let's add the idea of rhythm there. So how do you want to deal with rhythms? Like you want to walk like 1, 1, 1, 1, or you want to walk 1, 2, 1, 2, or you want to walk 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just choose your own rhythm of your life with these interpretations of start, do, release, integrate. Just place it into your body. Let's practice this utopia. What if we can walk the way we want to live? What if we can choose the rhythm, the way we want to live, the rhythm in our life? 20 seconds more, use your body time. Okay, let's stop, let's sit back. So we can ground it into our bodies, yes? And the body will remember. It's important to talk here about mirror neurons. So mirror neurons are a special type of brain cell that active both when we perform an action and when we observe someone else is performing that same action. In other words, when we watch someone doing something like dancing or, I don't know, picking up the phone, the same areas in our brain are activated as we were doing it ourselves. We literally experience another body with our own body. Performance activates this bodily empathy without words. The audience can feel the performer's body even just by watching, and in fact, on a micro level, appropriating his or her bodily experience. So physicality is not only an internal experience, it's also an active form of communication that is transmitted directly from one body to another. This is why it is very valuable both to practice and to watch. This is why, for example, today I don't use prepared slides, even though it's not very comfortable or convenient sometimes. When you watch me writing, this is what we are witnessing. And we take it not only as a given words, but also we experience the process of creating them. So this is the idea of this kind of dealing with slides. Let's talk about performance trends. Today, many contemporary forms of live performing arts actively explore participation in audience involvement. Participatory theater, immersive theater, forum theater, site-specific theater. Participative theater when the audience is involved and can influence what happens. Immersive, where the audience is inside the event and free to choose what to focus on. Forum theater. Forum theater where the audience can interrupt and change the story. And site-specific, the most familiar one, I think. So site-specific created for a specific location and connected to its landscape. All these forms, there is a strong, has a strong focus on the intersection between the spectator's own experience and the body experience of the performer and creator. The audience becomes a co-author. And this tendency to remove the boundary between spectator and the performer is a growing trend. It's almost a return to the beginning of civilization, if you remember from the history, where we all practice our values together through shared embodied experience. Even this talk, for example, we can say that this is a performative lecture or perfo lecture, and the performance jam after this talk is about a return to the idea of beginning of culture. And the morning class today, which someone of you attended, or the intensive I will lead next week, is an example of performative practice, a shared research of our beliefs through our body. Let's talk about trends in smartphone culture. Digital environment today are moving to the same direction as before. Participation, these polls, reactions, interactive stories. So it's not just about watching. I'm in dialogue. I'm a co-author as well. Immersive, these AR, VR, or POV, point of view videos. I'm not just watching. I'm inside the story or even inside another body. This focus, forum theater, intervention, stitch videos when I take a piece of someone else's video and add my own layer. Or digital activism, using stories, memes, and social media as a form of action, not just content. Site-specific practices, content tied to a specific place, a cafe, a city, an event, location-based stories, QR code quests. The smartphone becomes a guide to an experience in real space. So just like in performance, digital practices are shifting from just watching to an active participation. The smartphone is no longer just a device for consumption. It's a tool for co-authorship and embodied experience. Both performance and digital space are searching for new forms of presence, where body experience is the core of communication, both offline and online. So let's go back to that question. How much of our day do we spend in our body and how much in our phone? And now I invite you to try to combine these two practices. So let's take phone again. And let's try to treat the phone as a witnesser. And we will do a little performance. I will explain later, a bit later, what it will be. But now just choose a place for your witnesser. Choose the place of your audience. Choose where you want to place your phone. Right now. Yes, yeah. Just put it somewhere. It can be in your hand or it can be somewhere. And make a record. So on the count 3, we will start our little performance, our little practice. So put your phone, put it in a record mode, and go back to your stage. So on the count 3, we will start a little performance. 1, 2, 3. And then just start from being present, from doing nothing. even if it's too hard maybe for someone. Just doing nothing here, right? Try to feel this moment when you don't try to change anything, or you don't try to add anything. And now let's make little gesture, whatever it means for you. And let's start to make small, easy actions, but with the idea to unpack our values through these actions. It can be process, it can be again one little movement, one little action or gesture, and so on. But the idea to unpack your values and your beliefs. What are the actions which can unpack your values and your beliefs? Try to search for them, so we don't just do anything. We try to unpack our values through actions and through beliefs. And again, let's add rhythm to that. The actions which unpack your beliefs and values. And this rhythm 1 or 1 2 1 2 3 or 1 2 3 4. And let's make a connection to the history of performing art. Do you remember these 5 stages? So beginning of culture, emergence of art, modernity, redefining of performance, and nowadays. So we don't do just for the sake of doing. We try to unpack our values and our beliefs. And we try to use rhythm and we try to use connection to the history of performance. Just a bit more. Okay, now let's take phones back in our hands. And let's keep shooting from the point of view, this POV mode. You keep on filming, but like the person sees it. You know, like in a computer game, like in shooter, for instance. And on the count 3, we will do it again, but now with this idea of POV, with this point of view. Like someone who will see it later will understand something. You will watch this performance from your eyes. POV. Yes, point in front. Yes. So you don't film yourself, you're filming what you see. And we will start from the count 3. 1, 2, 3. It's POV. You're filming what you see. And again, let's just start from being present, without need to change anything, just to observe. And while we are making this POV video, just pay attention, where is your attention now? Are you losing your attention from your body? And if you feel that you're kind of losing your attention from your body, bring it back. So keep filming with this idea that we have both attention in the body and in the screen. And now let's express with the screen some state. Choose a state. It can be interest or anxiety or joy, happiness or desperate state. How you can express your state. Let's express interest, everybody. Like how you can be interested, but not from your eyes, but through the screen. So the person who will watch this video, he will understand or she will understand, oh, this is about interest. And now let's try anxiety. Like you are worried about something. How this person who will watch this video later will understand it. That you are worried. And what about your attention in your body? Are you losing it? Try to keep connected with your phone, with your screen, and with your body. And let's just now try to express joy with this POV for the viewer. And let's remember about these 4 cycles, this spring, summer, fall, and winter. And let's express spring with this video. How we can express spring without losing attention into our body. This sprint, remember this idea of planning, busting your energy. And let's switch to summer. How we can express summer through our screen. Summer means making things, realization, doing. How we can express it through POV, through the video, but without losing intention to our body. And now let's go to the autumn, to the fall. So gathering results, harvesting, celebrating. How we can express it through the video. And now let's go to the winter. This listening to yourself, slowing down, searching for the new ideas, but more about listening, slowing down. And now just finish with the season you feel most connected to. Spring, summer, fall or winter. "30 seconds more with your body time." Okay, let's sit down. So we can be online and still be completely disconnected from the body. We can also avoid being online in order to stay in touch with the body. There are a lot of proposals like that. But there is another option, to be both in the body and in the digital world. Anyway, performative practice is kind of proposing to us, be here in the body, not just connected. So after exploring these many practices and speaking about performative practices in general, it's a good moment to ask, what does actually mean this word practice? Do you have any ideas? Repetitions? Yes. Anything else? Bringing it to life. What do you mean by that? Just making it, manifesting it. Because this word practice we use so often, I think, and sometimes we just forgot what do we mean by that.
Concentration.
Concentration. What else? Consciousness.
Mistakes.
What?
Mistakes.
Mistakes, yes. Mistakes is a method. Focus. Duration, yes. Repetitions, durations. Process. I wrote my own definition, what the practice is for me. For me, it's a combination of tools, ideas, experience, and investment of time and attention, and the regularity of the process. So I repeat it. It's a combination or certain combination of tools, ideas, experience, and investment of time and attention, and the regularity of the process. So what we can actually practice in the context of performance, all these things. We talked about body, smartphone, time. There's also the space issue. We'll write space. So just like with time, our relation to it can be very different. But for example, we can say that we are here. But what does each of us actually mean by that when we say that we are here? And let's now imagine that here means this room. So when we say we are here, we mean Soul Studio. Let's just think about that. So we are here, we are in this studio. So what kind of actions could we start here? And now, what if here means this city? Noana Creative City. So I'm here, I'm in this city. What kind of performance could we imagine if here is the city? And what if here is the planet? What actions could I take knowing that my here is the planet? So it's not room anymore, it's the whole planet. Just let's think or imagine. Or what if here is a country? I don't know, island, Bali. What if my here is body. Or let's think really big. What if my here is the universe? What kind of performance would I create there? What if I'm here means that I'm in universe? Just think or feel or imagine. So again, room, city, country, planet, universe. Let's go back to the room. So we have body, time, space, smartphone, co-authorship. There's also a word which is very often used in performance, presence. Again, like practice, very often used, but who knows what it is. Like we all say, being present or work with your presence, and so on and so on and so on. We could say that, again, I did a research on my own version. Presence is a state in which you feel connected to the body, to the space, and to the moment, without the need to immediately change anything, or judge it, or escape into the what's next mode. Presence is the ability to stay attentive to what is happening and engage with it, without losing connection to yourself. So we have presence, we have action and mistake, we had persona, and we have practice. So we can, I think we can try to write all these things down. So body, time, space, gadgets, presence, co-authorship, mistake, what else? Neurons, body archive. What else did we have? Rhythm, yes. Concept. A try. And we have this practice. And black square. I think it's nice. So yes, this is it. We can practice performance using this little memo in the body, in the device, or in both at once. And again, every time we practice a try and create practice-based knowledge for ourselves and for society we live in. Performance is not necessarily a show, not necessarily dance, and not necessarily art in the traditional sense. It can be dance, show, and live art, but it also can be a ritual, a gesture, a body research, silence, public presence, interactions with the space or people. What matters most in performance is engagement. We have lots of applications in our phones, and there are also lots of applications in our bodies. And sometimes we can clean the phone from unnecessary apps and clean the body from unhelpful patterns. Install the ones we really need and learn how to use them without forgetting to install the updates. So basically this is a mini checkup for performative practices, and it can be used both in performance and in daily life. Okay then, final thought. An iPhone is a convenient way to interact with the world. Performance is a risky, embodied, fragile way to be with others and stay inside your body. And just like it's not it, thank you. And just like the smartphone is our contemporary black square, always with us, able to mean so many things, depending only on our imagination, so is the body, also a black square, not just with us, but the black square is us. And from this black square, we can pull out endless interpretations of ourselves and versions of our unique life. And performance and performative practices are great and very handy applications for that. So this is it. This is the end of my lecture. Thank you. Yes. So I want to say thank you to Kira Brick and Roma Singh for inviting me here for the Performative Intensive Bodies the Message, which will happen next week. And thank you to Soul Studio for hosting this event.